there was kind of pair after pair that was not resoundingly positive. Penny loafers are one of my favorite pairs of shoes, one of my favorite styles to wear for a number of reasons. I'll get into that in a bit, but this is going to be a review of the most recent pair of penny loafers that I've received, and I'm going to cover the full gamut. A lot of the pairs that I am ordering, a lot of those reviews are resoundingly positive. There are definitely some constructive pieces of those. Once you get to a certain point of your shoe journey, you really understand what it is that you like, what it is that you want in every aspect of the shoe. This is really how it should be. It should be resoundingly positive. There's very few instances once you build that relationship with certain shoemakers that the outcome is less than this. That's the goal. It takes a bit to get there. There was kind of pair after pair that was not resoundingly positive. The kind of arc of that is that I've kind of overcome that, and now I'm really into the, I'll say, like, prime of the relationships with all of the shoemakers that I support. Now let's jump into the shoes themselves. This is made by Acme Shoemaker, a artisanal workshop in China. This is in color 6 horween shell cordovan. It's on their AL01 loafer last, which is a dedicated loafer last with a round toe, and I'll get into the fit when I talk more about the loafer last. What I was looking for here is a very classic, very refined, and understated classic penny loafer. The color 6 shell cordovan, this was a color that had always intrigued me, but I never really felt any desire to go ahead and pick up a shoe in that color. The reason that I went with it in this case is because color 8, I don't know, it's kind of lost its luster in my eyes, for lack of a better analogy there. It's a great color. It's a great shade of shell cordovan. It's just not really what I've been after or have had any desire for, especially when it comes to this loafer. Color 4, on the other hand, is a bit too bold for my taste when it comes to wanting a classic, refined pair that can flex up to the fully formal, wardrobe down to the most casual. So color 6 was something I never tried. They had it, and it was the perfect balance of in the middle of those two options. Now on to the fit. There are a lot of elements of a penny loafer that make it very difficult to fit. Everything from the lack of lacing to the instep to the arch and the heel support. The benefit with Acme was that I've already gone through a number of pairs of shoes with them where they've continued to refine and perfect the fit of every individual pair that I've had. There was a few made-to-measure adjustments on this, mainly around the instep, and that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead, and I'm going to take a brief step back and just run through all of the basics of the shoe. Now, this is on the dedicated loafer last, the AL01. It's got a full strap penny loafer, which basically just means the strap is going all the way around. And then this got finished off with the Vibram, kind of get to why I thought that was Vibram. Vibram half sole, no toe plate, and a very elegant blind welded waist, hand stitched outsoles all the way around. And I wanted a very classic, understated edge finish that really matched the overall shade of the shoe. So it wasn't a standout natural edge finish, but it wasn't an overly formal one either. Just kind of perfect right down the middle of the road. Now let's get into some of the finer details that I really appreciate the most, mainly how this loafer last is designed and why it fits so well. Now, let's start on the heel, and I'll cut to some other clips to really demonstrate what I'm talking about here. Basically, right around the top line here, you can see coming at this angle, it's got a very angular shape, both coming up this way, but then also, front to back around the heel with a very pinched heel cone at the back. What that does is it makes sure that it really matches the anatomical shape of your foot, and it really creates a very secure and supportive fit so that when you're walking, the top line isn't gapping around your actual foot, which not only is it just a little unsightly to look at, but it's not very comfortable or supportive as you continue to break them in. That continues to exacerbate itself, and it's just not as supportive as one that fits perfectly like this. The other element of this that I really, really enjoy is how right out of the box, this fit very well. It was a little snug right around the instep, not uncomfortably, but just snug. And then also along the pinky toe and the large toe right here. And that's kind of like the perfect fit to start off with in a penny loafer or a loafer at all. Because what's going to happen there is you're going to get a little bit of flex and a little bit of molding with that upper. You're also going to get a little bit of depression into the insole, and that's going to make the perfect adjustment so that your foot fits into the overall fitting space of the shoe perfectly. Once that happens, those tight points right around the inner and outside of the toes, as well as the instep, becomes perfect, and nothing becomes excessive in its fit, and nothing becomes too snug. The flex point, and I did, of course, set the crease on this. That's a whole other topic. But I did set the crease, but you can see how the flex point really matches exactly where the toe joint is, as well as how my instep continues to like slope down the vamp. Because of that, you can just tell that it's really following the exact shape of my foot. And that's perfect. That means there's no rubbing, there's no moving. It's just perfectly set on the foot. And that's exactly what a made to measure or a bespoke shoe, that's what that result is eventually going to look like after you've been through, as many shoes as I have with Acme. It just begins to fall in place and becomes an effortless process to nail the fit every time. A few basics that sometimes it just happens when you're communicating informally about an order through Instagram is it was supposed to have a Vibram heel lift. If I'm not mistaken, I could be though. It was definitely supposed to have toe plates though. I'm almost positive about that. Should have had toe plates on it. They missed that. I believe they acknowledged it, and it was just going to kind of be too much of an effort to switch it. I could have insisted, but honestly, it wasn't that critical of a detail for me to push them, into that big of an inconvenience to make it right. Overall, it still gives me that same functional element here. I just kind of like the look of the toe plate because you avoid a little bit of that wear and tear that you see on the front here when you have a toe plate, even with a Vibram top lift. This is a resoundingly positive review, and once you get to the point where you've built a relationship with any shoemaker, this is what that experience and what that result should and will look like time after time once you've established that working and that one-on-one relationship, which really kind of extends beyond shoes at times, and it's something that I most value once it gets to that point. Really pleased to add another style and another versatile option from Acme Shoemaker to the collection. Definitely stay tuned. I'll add some more context around some of these sample pairs that I got, so there's a little teaser there. If you want to check out more information, specifically the unboxing for this pair of loafers, check out this video. If you want to learn more about handmade shoes in general and comparing those to Goodyear welded shoes, check out this video.